What's up, everybody? Vaping Vigilante coming back at you again today. And today I want to talk about a mod that's been on the market for a while. I've had one, and there's been many reviews of it, but I think that it's a mod that justifies coming back to. It's been a really good mod that has kind of stood the test of time of sorts, and the one I'm talking about is the IPv3 LI. Now, this particular IPv3 LI that I have in silver here came to me by way of gearbest.com. Shout out to gearbest.com. And I have a black version of this, and then I have the silver one that they sent along for me. And like I said, I know that there's been a bunch of reviews of this, but I also believe that it has stood the test of time, and it is one of the better mods that's on the market right now as far as a pre-manufactured, box mod that is both temp control, upgradable to 200 watts, and a dual 18650 using the Yihi SX330-V3SL chip. Okay, and like I said, it comes stock. Sorry. I've got a frog in my throat. I've got anyway. It comes stock as 165 watts out of the box, and then it is upgradable to 200 watts. The temperature control in this device works very well. It's very solid. It's a very solid device. Of course, you know that they have removed the dreaded screws, okay, and they have gone to the slide-on door here, and that I really like, and the door holds very nicely. I'm currently vaping at 100 watts at a 0.41 build. It operates very, very nicely. I have used the device for several weeks now, and it has worked great on everything that I've used it for. I've used it in temperature control mode. I've used it just with regular tanks on there. I've used it with drippers. I've used all kinds of things on it, and it has worked fantastic. The screen is very nice on it and bright. It doesn't have the mirrored finish or anything like that the IPv4 has. And between the two, I wouldn't even waste my time with the IPv4. I believe that this is a more solid mod, even though it came out afterwards. This is the fit and finish on this mod is a lot better than the IPv4. I don't like the little slide-on door on the IPv4 because it's just plastic, and it holds on with the two little little detents on there, but over time that can wear out, and that can stretch and things like that. And this is going crazy right now. I have right light clicked on right there, and it was going nuts. Let me turn that off. So the fit and finish on this one seems like a more thought through mod than the IPv4 and the IPv4S that came out before this. That almost almost seems like the IPv4 was a placeholder mod, just waiting for the IPv3 LI to come out, and that's the way it kind of comes across to me. So I definitely prefer the IPv3 LI over the IPv4S. This is easily on par with the Sigali 150 and everything that has been a tried and true mod since it came out. But you get the temperature control in this mod, and you get the upgradable to 200 watts, and everything has worked fine on this. The menu is easy to go through. 3 clicks. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. There we go. 4 clicks, and you get into the system menu. There you go, system, and I've just turned it off because I flipped it around. I wasn't paying attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back on. Okay, IPv3 LI. Yeah, I know what it is because I'm holding it. 2, 3, 4. There we go. System on, and then why are you doing that? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did it again. I'm sorry. I did it again. Wasn't paying. Hey, this is still an IPv3 LI. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Now it's. There we go. You got the power mode. You have, let's see, exit. Okay, system. You go into power mode, or you go into mode, and you have power, and you have joules. Now, joules is for temperature control. Now, of course, I'm in power mode right now. And then you go into the exit if you just want to exit back out and use it. So the menu is really easy. When you go into the joules mode on here, you then are in the temperature control mode, and then you set your, it no longer uses wattage, you're setting joules, and it goes up to 50 joules. And joules is a weird rating because joules is actually the amount of energy expended over a certain distance. And so that's kind of, I guess you could use that when you're talking about if distance is the length of the wire or the coil or something like that. But and then you adjust your wattage and you're running in joules. Okay. Now let's see. Let's go back on. It does time out. Okay, so I'm gonna go into power mode. I'm gonna go into joules right now. I'm gonna say Fahrenheit, and then I set my temperature to wherever I want it to be. And then I do that, and then I exit, or I can go back through, and I'm going to put this back in power mode. Okay, but so it's really easy to navigate. It fires down to 0.1. I think the upgrade, when you do the upgrade to 200 watts, I think it allows it to go down to 0.08. I'm not entirely sure. I've left this one stock, and my other one is upgraded to the 200 watts, but I've never noticed. It's always fired everything that I put on it. And even when I'm using a regulated mod, I'm not building that low. There's no real need to, because I have the power in the box. If I want it to vape more, then I just turn the power up. I don't need to build that low. So like I said, this came to me by way of gearbest.com, and I'm sure, like I said, a lot of you have seen this mod. It's been out for a while, but I really think that it has stood the test of time. And you know, it's a good looking mod. Its fit and finish is very nice. You have the Pioneer4You thing there, okay, and you've got your screen again. And then let's see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. All right. Why won't it do it now? There we go. Okay, so you have system on, and then you go into power mode, and you either have power or you have joules. If you go into joules mode, you either set Fahrenheit or you set Celsius. So we'll say Fahrenheit. I'll select that, and then you can adjust your power up or your temperature up and down however you want to. Okay, and then I'm not gonna exit. I'm gonna go. Whoop! I did. There we go. Nope. Man. Now you get to see the startup. There we go. Once again, because I did it again, I keep forgetting to hit this button to make the selection. So put it back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, system on. Now I'm going to go back to power mode right there and exit. Okay, let's see. Power mode and exit. There we go. Back to 100 watts, 0.41. Now, comparing this to some of the other mods that are out there, I guess its closest competitor is the Snow Wolf, and because the Snow Wolf has temperature control, and it has 200 watts, and it is fairly the same. But what's interesting is at the 200 watt range on the Snow Wolf, when you go up to 200 watts, like I'm going to take this one, this is only 165 right now, but at 165, I mean, it's throwing some power. On the Snow Wolf at 200 watts, it's got a pulsing effect. Okay, it's It's like an on, off, on, off, on, off. And that's kind of weird. This doesn't do that. That's at 165 watts. It's saying it's giving me 7.5 volts. So there again, it's only going to put out so many volts. It says that the max working volts is 7. So it's, you know, if you do the math and everything like that, it doesn't come out to a true, you know, wattage or whatever. But it's more than enough power for most vapors, even at 165 watts like this is right now, see, right there. It's not even hot for me. You know, I have series devices and stack mods and things like that that hit a lot harder because you're getting, you know, 8.2, 8.4 volts, whatever, and so it hits a lot harder. So that it's a lot hotter vape and things like that. With this at 165 watts, it's a lot of vapor and it's firing very powerfully, but it's not nearly as hot or anything like that because I'm only getting 7.5 volts. It's a very pleasant vape at 165. Like I said, you know, you can do the math, you can do the calculator and all that kind of stuff, and you can see what your actual wattage that you're getting. But as far as the device goes, it is a very solid device. It works very well. It's very easy to use. Battery life is good on it, especially the new HG2 batteries. They're Dookie Brown looking batteries from LG. They are 20 watt or 20 amp continuous, 35 amp pulse, but they're 3,000 mAh. So what's good about that is you throw 2 of those in here and you have 6,000 mAh worth of battery. And if you're just running a tank or something at 40, 50, 60 watts, whatever, most cases that's easy an all-day vape. And I like that. Now it doesn't have onboard, you know, that's for hardware upgrades. It's not for charging or anything like that. You do have the top fire sensor. I keep that off. I don't care about the top fire sensor. It does work on here if I choose to turn it on, but I don't care about it because when I'm holding it or something like that and I get, you know, accidental fires and stuff, so I like using the button. The other one to compare this to is the new Cube X, and the Cube X from Smoke is a very nice device. I have one of those too, and I've got a review coming up on it, and it's a great device as well. I think between the two, I like them about evenly, and there's only little things here and there that I prefer more over the other. I like on the Smoke the whole front is the fire button, but then I also dislike that the whole front is a fire button because it fires fairly easy, and I have misfired it a lot when moving around or setting it in my lap or something like that. So, but we're not talking about that right now. The IPv3 LI, and then there's an IPv3 LI VR, and I think Graham Greene called it the liver, basically. And really the only difference is some fit and finish differences, and that it comes 200 watts out of the box. Other than that, I've never played with one of the LI VRs, but other than that, I think that's pretty much the only difference. This one has the same amount of power, they fire at the same amount, but the fit and finish is a little bit different. The LR, or the VR, comes with like carbon fiber looking side panels and things, so that's an aesthetic and a preference. And if you want one to come out of the box at already 200 watts, well, then you could go with the VR. But the upgrading on this is not hard at all. It takes all of a few seconds, really, you know, to do it. And we do them all the time up at the shop. So we do I really do like this mod. It's a great mod. Its price point, now GearBest right now is carrying these devices for $84.99. You can find them some places for more, but $84.99 for a device like this is a winner in my book. That's a no-brainer. It is very easily worth that, and I've seen them as high as, you know, $149.99, which is a little steep, but it you know, you're paying less than $1 a watt, I guess. So, you know, wherever you can find it, if you want to go in and touch one, or if you don't mind and you think you're pretty sure that that's the device that you want, then you can order one. And GearBest, like I said, has them for $84.99. They are in stock, and they give you the whole rundown. It's the Yihi SX330-V3SL temperature control chip. It's the original IPv3 case, embedded touch sensor up at the top, magnetic back door, and it's not just magnetic. You have actually, it's the back door holds on very well, and it's actually not magnetic. That's kind of a misprint on their part. What you have is you have these little rubber feet up here and up here, and then you have this detent right here, this little detent ball, and that matches up. The little rubber feet touch here, and it touches up here, and then the detent in there is what kind of holds the door on. And then you have this protective coating in here, I guess for you to protect your batteries and things like that. But it slides on very nice, and it clicks up there, and it's in there. You have to pull it down to get it off. Some are harder than others. My other one is quite a bit harder to get off, but you know, that's fine. You don't want the battery door just sliding off. So I'll show you the packaging right quick. Like I said, most of you have seen this packaging. On the back you have your information, IPv3 device, USB cord, user manual, and I guess they call this a gift box. But inside, not much going on. You got your instruction manual right there. You have USB cord that's used for your upgrading, and that's it in the packaging. You get a little quality control certificate in there, and the manual tells you basically everything you need to know, how to switch back and forth, how to do the temperature control and all that. And there you go. Packaging simple. So with that, I think the IPv3 LI is a great mod. I really enjoy it, and it works in every situation that I've used it in. Like I said, comes out of the box, the 165 watts, and then you can easily upgrade it by downloading their upgrade software and get it up to 200 watts. So there you go. The IPv3 LI, you can go check it out online. Go to gearbest.com. Like I said, they have it for $84.99. And if you've been thinking about it, and this was a revisit, like I said, there's been plenty of reviews for it, but I just kind of wanted to revisit it because I think it's one of those mods that has stood the test of time and is a good solid mod. So with that, I appreciate you watching and taking the time. Thank you for all the support out there. And remember, this is Vaping Vigilante. Vape it like you stole it. I'll see you later.